do you do it when you do your video calls, when you record stuff? Do you
Mhm.
record cloud, you record it to your computers? How do you usually do it at the office?
To a cloud.
To cloud? Okay.
Yeah.
So Brock. Here's your folder. 14th visit. Yep. I like to keep track of you guys. All right. How's your time, bud?
Just need to be done by about 1:10. Will that work?
I think so. We hustle.
Okay. Okay, cool.
Let's get going.
Well, 1:15 would be fine.
Okay.
My next appointment's only like 10 minutes away. So.
Okay. Got it. Look at the clock here. It just throws me off when I got to look at the time
Deduct
change.
an hour.
Yeah. All right. So that looks good. You know, with all this new stuff. Pull this over a little bit. All right, my man.
All right.
Do this thing. Ready?
I am.
Good. I hope everybody had a great holiday season. Now we're going to bring in 2023 with a rally. We're going to do some really good things here. Thank you so much for joining us today for the Tom Nat Show. 12th season firm. We're firmly in there. Hard to believe. I don't even know how we did it. Just staying with it. You got to just find the people, and you just got to stay consistent, and you just got to keep doing your thing. And that's what we do here. Last week, really good one with Julie Reinhardt. Julie Reinhardt from the city of Lansing, talking about small businesses and the lifeblood of small businesses. And she works for the development office down at the city of Lansing. So it's just really, really helps to promote small business. And so we're doing more and more of that. We're integrating with her. She's going to come to our mastermind lunches, which we're going to get going. And our guest today, one of our regs, one of our sponsors, one of our kingpins, he comes to these lunches as well. Keep your ear peeled for that, everybody, because it's going to be kind of an open invitation for this, and I'm setting it up. So it's coming. Brock Fletcher, going to talk best practices, reality of real estate. Who better to kick off 2023? Brock Fletcher is, he's, according to this bio that I'm going to show to our camera, I don't even know. He's in his 40s from Eaton Rapids. Whatever, it's all good. Brock, 14th visit with us. He's like my brother from another mother. I got so many brothers and sisters from other mothers. It's crazy, but Brock definitely is in there. 2019 real estate team closed 330 transactions, done just a gajillion dollars worth of business, been involved in real estate and vacant land purchases for going on 20 years. Started land surveying, and away he went, and away we do with the selling team, one of our sponsors, and we're so proud to have. I'm glad that we do the reality of real estate, because this is an important, very, very important topic I want to bring into the show. My bud, how are you, brother? Brock Fletcher, how are you?
I'm really good. Yeah, thank you, Tom. I appreciate it. As always, you and Sandy have been awesome to me, and really am thankful for our friendship. So appreciate you guys.
It goes both ways, bro. It's a reciprocation for sure. Good people bring on good people. And how is the family? Give everybody that, the this is your life thing. Catch everybody up, all of your fans that are out there in radio land and podcast land, and now video land, because soon our videos, which we're recording, because you're one of my test cases.
Sure.
Might be even seeing us do this in action. And
I'm fine with it. That's totally fine. That's why
I'm wearing my grandson's one of my grandson and granddaughter's gift of the Elf headband. It's his favorite movie of all time.
Nice.
7 years old, so I figured, well, you know what? I love junk headbands, and I'm going to wear my junk headbands when I record these things, because these headphones that Mitch wants me to wear, they kind of look kind of goofy in a way, but yeah.
That's awesome.
They work great. So it's like, okay, cool. So how you been, man? Everything good?
Really good. My daughter's doing great. She's 20. She's a junior at Michigan State. She's doing very, very well. And Katie and I are enjoying empty nesting and having a lot of fun together. And yeah, no complaints. Life is
You're
really good.
close people. You guys do some really, I see some pictures of in the good weather, which is like when the sun's out and it's warm, and the not so good, which a lot of people, and no offense, everybody, no offense, the cold weather stuff, because as I'm recording this from Studio K in Kimberly, Wisconsin, with about 4 feet of snow on the ground, just kidding, maybe 2 feet of snow on the ground. A lot of people are into that stuff. You and Katie get around. You
Yeah,
get out bikers, you're doing the thing.
we like to snowshoe. We like to cross country ski. We're
What's snowshoeing like?
it's fun. It's obviously you have to have good snow to do it, but it's peaceful. It's nice. We've got some favorite trails that we do, and you know, it's a good workout, but it's just quiet. And if you get a nice sunny day and maybe a light snowfall, you know, there's really nothing prettier than being out on a crisp, you know, quiet winter day. It's pretty nice.
That's a really good point for everybody. And the reason I love when these types of things come in spontaneously to the radio program, Brock Fletcher's our guest, by the way, everybody, today. We're going to talk best practices with the reality of real estate. But these tips that people have for their own mental well-being, mental health well-being, it's all good, man. It's like getting outside. It's been proven. Doing those types of activities are so powerful for making you better at your life. And then when you're better at your life, Brock, and you're doing your thing, then you're a better servant leader for your business and your customers and your family and all of those types of things. So fantastic. Let's talk, let's set this thing up about best practices. You've been, you know, we've done the reality of real estate for several years now, and 2023 is going to be a very interesting time. So I thought in our pre-show, we had a little conversation about this. Please set this up, and, you know, we'll digress all over the place, but please set this up on what you think is really important about best practices in real estate. What is it? What does that mean?
Yeah, and from my perspective, what I'm really gonna, I think is important is for buyers and sellers, like the best practices for how to successfully complete their goal regarding a real estate transaction. So from like the very beginning, having a very clear plan of what success looks like, and then following a best practice model to achieve that goal. And so we can go in deep on what those may be. I've got very specific opinions on that will yield a successful result pretty much every time, unless somebody changes their goals.
There was some what brought this up and came to my mind, everybody, was there's a lot of articles in the Wall Street Journal about these fancy packaging programs for money and financials and all, and you can get around this, and you can do this if you do that, and if you do this and you do that, and all of a sudden we're in a serious real estate issue crunch like 2000. I'm always going to be fearful of the 2007, 2008 time span, and I hope did we learn from that, Brock?
I think we did. The dangerous loan products that were popular back then are no longer in existence. So just in that in of itself offers buyers protection when they don't know what they should be protecting themselves from.
Right, because and again, everybody, there are so many predators in the world that this is why we got to have the team. We've got to have the resources to go to and the people that we can trust. And one of my talking points for Brock when I do his read, which isn't really a read, it's just me talking about Brock, is how much we trust Brock. It's because of that. And when you have these two giant piles of money, of resources, of equity in your home and or your savings, you've got to protect things. You've got to have the right people to guide you down the path and take you into the right area. Brock Fletcher is our guy. All right, Brock. So a minute before we go to break here, tell everybody where we want to try to go. We just kind of touched on the buyers and sellers.
Yep.
Best practices. where are we going to launch into, just so that people will come back and listen or stick around and listen to us? Where would you like to take this in the next segment?
Yeah, where I'd like to start on the next segment is outlining, let's say you've just had a baby or just got married or you had a life-changing experience and you know that you need to buy a home. Let's start with from step 1 to basically step 5. What do we do? How do we get there?
I like it. I like it a lot, because life is like that. And if we have, I'm so, you know me, Brian, you know me really well. It's like, I got to have a regimen. I got to have a routine. I got to have a process. I've got to it just functions for me. I've learned this through my therapy and life in general, that if I personally don't have this, then everything gets it's just too much stress. It's just too much confusion, and it's just not, and then I don't make good decisions. And that's where we want to go. We want to help you guys. We want to help everybody understand. You want to make good decisions, you got to have good people helping you. Brock Fletcher's here, everybody. Reality of Real Estate 2023 version kickoff, best practices. Comment show. Be right back. So, like that. Not my home base, man. I tell you what, working from the studio.
It's not your favorite studio.
It's just not, it's fine and it's good. But you're right. It's not my favorite, and I'm just not normal. I'm just not my complete comfort zone.
I get it.
It's fine. It's fine. Here we go. Our Ameriprise financial advisor and sponsor of segment 2 of the Tom Mack Show is Craig Stiles. He can help you plan for the life you want today and well into the future with the right financial advisor. Life can be brilliant. Couple of phone numbers coming at you: 517-483-4893, 1-800-528-1355. Those are those 2 phone numbers. You can always go to the website, tommattshow.com. And if you want to find my 2 heroes, Craig and Brock and Craig, just go to the bottom of the homepage and away you go there. That thing's been all redesigned. We'll talk about that here in the next segment, but you can find both these guys. They're very simple. Craig's email, craig.stiles@ampf.com. His offices are located at 2400 Lake Lansing Road, Suite B is in brilliant, or B ism, Lansing, Michigan, 48912. He's the best. Guy's a greatness. I mean, and full disclosure, both of our sponsors, we have utilized their services. We continue to utilize their services, and we continue to promote their services because we trust both of these guys. You will not find better people that are going to help you. And so that's the bottom line of all of it with our sponsors. And we're very, very picky with our sponsors. And so I'm not trying to just say that. I'm going to be straight up. We're picky because we want you to get the best service that you can possibly get. All right. I want to thank the many radio stations that have carried us. Of course, WGHN 92.1 FM in Grand Haven. You guys are always first out of the chute because you're the first ones to ever carry us on broadcast radio, and I'm so grateful for that. WGIM 1240 AM in Lansing, WKLQ 1490 in Muskegon, Whitehall, WYPV FM 94.5 up in Mackinac City. That's Brock country. Brock country, Mackinac City. WKAR, the big stick at the university, PBS, our PBS affiliate, AM 870 News Talk. Any station I did mention that's in the Michigan Talk Network, Steve and Ivy, thank you guys so much for carrying us on the syndication on the Michigan Talk Network. And I didn't mention your call letters. Send us a note. Go to the contact box on the website, tommattshow.com, and send Sandy a note. It goes right to her email. Away you go with that one. I want to thank again Craig Stiles for sponsoring segment 2 and creating Decideri Analytics, because that's what's making light of weighted decisions is his proprietary algorithm. You guys have heard me say this before, but I like saying it anyways, because now algorithm's cool to say, hey man, I got an algorithm. Craig had an algorithm when he was actually designing algorithms before people even knew what the heck a bit and a byte was on the internet. So there you go. Okay. That's why we have these people, and that's what we do. And lastly, I want to plug again the Michigan Talk Network and that thing called Amazon, where we have 4 books, and you can go there and check out all of our goodies. All right. Good one today with Brock. And early in the season, since this will be airing in the very mid-January of 2023, as we record this episode, best practices. Really happy to have Brock. Thank you for making time, by the way. I know we're recording this during holiday season. And so it's like, man, to get you diehards to come in and holler. Thank you for doing that, Brock.
Oh, I'm happy to do it. You're welcome.
You know, it's good that you make the time for everybody. And again, this is a very, very important topic. So you set it up in the last segment. We're going to do a best practices episode on the reality of real estate. So we're starting at square one. We're starting at the beginning. So you lined it up. Okay.
Sure.
You're a young family. You're at step 1, and we're going to go through step 5.
Yeah.
We're having a baby. We're having a baby. We're having a baby. It's like Ricky and Lucy, man. We're having a baby.
And it really could be any life-changing event that requires, a purchase. So your very, very, very first step is to actually select your real estate agent. They've got to be the key to everything. And I know that a lot of people don't start it that way. They start by driving around in their car. They start looking, or maybe they even call on a house that they see and they want to go see it first. They want that to be the first step. They want to start looking at some houses. That's the wrong way to set it up, because you end up doing things out of order, and it typically will cost you your first couple houses that you might have been in love with that were like the perfect place because you weren't prepared. So like step 1 really is find your great agent.
That's a great tip, because that is exactly me being Mr. Impulsive. Let's go drive around and look at houses.
Yep.
So don't do that. I mean, find the agent. But how do you interview the agent? I mean, how do you do this? If they don't hear our show, they don't listen to you, they don't see you, how do people know who to get a hold of? I mean, what do they go to their mom and dad and say, hey, or friends? What's the best?
A lot of times people do. They get a referral from a family member or a friend. One thing I do for almost anything I do now is I do a Google search, right? If I don't have somebody I know and trust, I Google them and I see how many 5-star reviews they have. So, in absence of that great testimonial, that great referral, go to Google, see who's got the most 5-star reviews, read a few of them, see if you think they're a good fit for you. If you make a phone call, or if they're not responsive, that's a pretty good indication they're probably not for you. But check out the top 2 or 3 until you find somebody that you have comfort with.
There you go. Yep. I mean, you got to make the interview. It's all about doing the due diligence, right? I mean,
yep.
That's what don't cut corners. Basically, is what you're saying is when you start this process, this is it. This is like, again, like me with doing the YouTube stuff. I continue to tell myself in my own mind, and when I do record, it's a marathon, baby. It's a marathon. You've got to get into this. And you can't just, if you make a knee jerk, you're going to be in trouble.
Yep.
Brock Fletcher's with us today, everybody. All right. So say you get that life-changing event and you got to like relocate or do those types of things. That's another thing. That's another reason for having you as a friend, is the referrals to the other professionals.
Yep. Absolutely. And even when I have friends that are moving out of state, I have relationships with great real estate agents across the country. So I'm typically able to give a wonderful referral no matter where somebody's moving to. So,
right.
And then Tom, the next step would be, so number 1 step, find a great agent. Number 2 step is have a thorough consultation with the agent. So I like to do my consultations here at the office because that's where I have all my tools. I've got my computer, I've got all my documents here. I've got everything I need to find out exactly what they're looking for and get their search set up and go over buyer agency documents while they're here at the office. So step number 2 would be the consultant, the consultation. Now, we get pushback from people who don't want to do consultations. They just want to go out and look at properties. Well, again, here's the problem with that. If you're just picking properties here and there, and maybe you're having an agent show you, and maybe you really trust that agent, but if you're just picking properties and having them go out and show you, your agent doesn't know enough about you to know what is the right fit for you. Because a home search should be it's kind of like a 50-50 search. Obviously, you, the buyer, you're going to be looking on your own, but your agent should also be looking for you, right? And if your agent doesn't know exactly what you're looking for and exactly what your motivation is and exactly what your capabilities are, you're really eliminating the majority of their ability to find you stuff. So step 2's got to be a proper consultation.
We're
So
going to finish.
It's a must.
We'll finish this thread when we come back. You're
Okay.
listening to Brock Fletcher, Best Practices, Reality of Real Estate. We'll be right back.
I hope I didn't mess up there, Tom. Sorry about that.
Oh, no, that's all right. That's fine. That's the beauty of the music. It's like, because we're going to jump right back into it. All right. Perfect timing, Sandy. You were waiting, weren't you?
Hi, Sandy.
She can't hear you.
Oh.
Says,
Hey, Brock.
Merry Christmas. Happy New Year.
can't see her. She just came in. The fam came down with a little, when we got over here, Lauren had a little thing and I immediately picked it up, a little like congestion thing. And it's like, it's kind of it's a wicked quickie and like a cold thing. And so she just needed to get outside and get some air. I got it. And then Lauren got it, or Lauren had it. I got it. And then Sandy's got it. And we're all kind of getting over it. Now the other family's getting it. So it's like, yeah,
Man,
it's just that time of year, brother.
it is.
All right, let me, here we go. Let's get going here so we can get you out. 26, I think we're doing good. The simplest way to connect with us is via our website, tommattshow.com. You can find Brock there. You can find Craig there. You can find everybody there. You will find a completely redesigned and simpler page. We put a lot of time and energy into getting that all constructed. Websites take a lot of work. Our new YouTube and presence is there with buttons on the website. Please check that out. Facebook, all the social media, any way you want to, if you want to communicate with us, all of the little buttons and ways to get there are simple. Our mission is to build an engaged society and team. We want to connect with all of you. So whichever social media, and the buttons are all there, is your favorite, please drop us a note and we will respond as we do to all messaging and want your input. The Refinement Zone, the RFZ, is all about the community collaboration and cooperation of us and our guests, the 3 C's of sharing stories and ideas and tips and paths and best practices. The RFZ, you'll find our YouTube channel called it's at the RFZ. Actually got that locked down. And then we have the podcast YouTube channel is coming together and might be working by the end of January where we'll have all that, but the RFZ is there. First things first, we got to do what we got to do. All right. So please go to tommattshow.com, check us out, send us a note. If you've got a question for me and you don't feel like you want to reach out to a man like Brock, my brother, send me a note on social media. I will absolutely make sure it gets to the right place. All right. Absolutely guarantee that. And again, lastly, you want to find our sponsors, go to the homepage, bottom of the homepage, click on their banners, away you go, send them a note, tell them you heard it from Tommy, and away you are there to get some very, very good coaching and advice. All right, best practices, Reality of Real Estate with my bro, Brock Fletcher. Consultation in office. Yeah, I bet you do get a little pushback on that because people are really, they get excited, we're going to have a baby. We're getting ready to move. We got the down payment. We got whatever, however, life change event. You had an inheritance come through. God bless you. Maybe some grandparents helped you out. You got to line this stuff up. And the note that I made, Brock, while you were telling us, because you have a 5-step plan here with best practices, was I was thinking about the time investment. If you don't follow your your plan and your pattern and your models, then you're gonna lose out. You're gonna waste a bunch of time, and you're gonna get frustrated. Take it from me, I'm the guy who got frustrated. So that was my takeaway from what I was listening to you in the first two segments, Brock.
Yeah. And that leads into, at that consultation, that's where we take care of step number 3, which is getting you pre-approved with a great local lender who's going to provide a predictable result, right? And I'm a firm believer that lender should be a direct recommendation from your great real estate agent. Here's why. I know how our preferred lenders work. I know when we get a pre-approval from them that it's as good as gold. I know when they tell me the close by date that we can hit, that we're going to hit it. I know their processes. They know my processes. There's very little room for error in regards to delighting the client. But when buyers use lenders that are from out of the area, or they use lenders that are not in alignment with their agent, it leaves a lot of room for just dissatisfaction in the process. That you're, it's like putting together any kind of a sport team. You want everybody to be on the same page. Your lender and your realtor need to be like really, really, really close. And so that recommendation should be coming from the agent, right? And
What I wrote down was gaps.
Yep.
If you develop gaps in your flow,
Yep.
this is big business here now. I mean, look how long it took for you and I when we had Big Household 3 years ago, and you and I, and I've told this story before. You've heard me say this story before. You were so kind to give me a little bit of advice. We didn't even know each other. That was not even step 1. That was like step 0.5, because I did not know you, but as soon as I did get to know you, you were my guy, my agent. And that was the first step. And you knew, and you gave me that really good advice. And it's the truth, everybody. Brock told me, he said, hey, next year is going to be the year. And you hit the number spot on. I am very proud to say that, because it was a very stressful time. And then that thing called COVID came along, and that really put some little bit of pressure on everybody, Brock. So, that's good. I like the pre-approval. What does preferred lender mean?
So every real estate agent has a preferred lender. It's the preferred lender or two that they're most comfortable with, that provide great service to their clients, right? So it's really a personal relationship between the real estate agent and the lender. They've, like I've got, I use, and I won't say their names because they're not sponsors, and I don't want to do anything I shouldn't on the radio program, but like the 2 people that I refer to, I've been doing business with them for more than a decade, right? And they provide a 5-star experience to my clients, just like I do. And the client experience is close to their heart. I don't want to work with anybody who's not trying to provide a 5-star experience. And because I guarantee my clients a 5-star experience, I need my lenders that I recommend to also provide that. And there are a lot of bad lenders out there. And when one of them gets involved in a transaction, that it's not a 5-star experience. And even if that 5-star experience, even if that doesn't get achieved and it's not my fault, it's still an experience that my client had, whether it was my fault or not. And so I want to control as much of that as I can, so I can guarantee a great experience.
Well, basically what you're saying is you want to have alignment in the whole process.
That's right.
You're the coach. When I came to you, Sandy and I came to you to help us with our real estate decisions, we hired you as our coach. It's basically, we're the owner of the team let's use the sports stuff. You and I are both sports fans. You're the owner of the team, but you need a really great general manager and a coach to run things for you, because I got other things to do, baby. I'm out there doing my thing. And is that a good analogy?
It is. Yep. You're the boss, but you want me to basically guide you through the process to make sure it works out well.
Exactly. Exactly. I
Yep.
mean, that's the whole thing. Brock Fletcher, let me reset everything, everybody.
Sure.
We've got Brock Fletcher here. Best practices, 14th visit onto the radio program with us. You know, Brock has been a sponsor for us for several years, and he's helped us with our real estate needs. The story I've told about Brock and helping our neighbor next door a year and a half ago or so was an amazing story. And if you want more details on that, you can listen to other shows that we've done. We don't need to belabor that point. Just rest assured, it worked out really well. I mean, it was just like out of nowhere. Brock's given us a 5-step plan here. I'm going to go back through the 3 that we have so far, Brock, and then we continue on. But so far you've had agent is number 1. The consultation in office, because you were really like saying, hey, I need my tools. I need to be able to look at everything. And the pre-approval, number 3 was the money, the lending, the alignment of the preferred lender. What's number 4?
Yeah, number 4 is the fun part. It's what most people think is number 1, which is go see the houses, right? But it's really step number 4. And because if you've done step 1, 2, and 3 right, step number 4 is a lot more fun because you're looking at properties that you know you can buy. Means you know you're financially qualified for them. They likely fit at least 60% of your must-have list, or more. And so you're in a position of power at that point because anything you're looking at, you have the power to write an offer on. And that's the only way to do a house search fun, right? If you're looking before you do the other steps, you're looking and you're just hoping that you can do it. But in my way, if you do it the right way, you're able to write offers.
When we come back, we're gonna deep dive this topic because this is the big enchilada right here. All right. Brock Fletcher's here. Best practices, Tom Madge Show. Stick around, baby. Save. Got this Brock Fletcher read to do here, and then you can jump back into that. It's good 5-step program.
Awesome.
Love it. Here we go. Oh, Jesus, right there. Pardon me. Sorry.
No problem.
When your ear like that. Our segment 4 sponsor is my guest today, Brock Fletcher, brother from another mother. Again, full disclosure, Brock Fletcher of the selling team of Keller Williams Realty is our friend. We trust him implicitly, and he's our guy. His team is, and I got to say, what up, Mike Dedman? If I don't say what up, Mike Dedman, then Mike gets, I don't want to hurt his feelings because Mike was our guy. He is our guy. He was our buyer's agent for Little House Lansing, which we love so much. Brock's an investor and can either give you an immediate cash offer for your home or set the deadline and price. The key thing with Brock and the team is the trust factor. You can call Brock. Here's a couple of numbers coming at you. I got the super secret number. That's not so much super secret coming here in a second. Office number is 517-853-6408. You can go online, of course, to that thing called the internet and go to kwsellingteam.com, kwsellingteam.com. That's Brock's zone. You can Google search Brock Fletcher, which he just said during this show, because we're doing best practices. How do you find an agent? Google search them. Do your due diligence. Google search Brock, see what you find. Okay. Then you're going to find us and you're going to listen to a bunch of his old shows, because this is his 14th visit with us. And so there's lots of different scenarios and ideas and tips and things all over the place. That's why Brock is a sponsor. Sell your home without the hassle. The average agent in Lansing, Michigan, Midwest, 6 to 8, they sell 6 to 8 homes a year. All right, 6 to 8. Brock and his team sold over how many in 2020, 2021, Brock? Because I got 2019 numbers here, but I need to update this thing. How many did you guys sell? Because you sold 330 in 2019. Where were you at then?
Yep. So we last year we did 300 and helped 352 families buy or sell real estate. This year the numbers are down a little bit. By Friday of this week, we'll have helped 320 people or families buy or sell real estate this year. So the numbers are down a little bit, but that's the total number of transactions done in the greater Lansing area is also down by about 15% this year. So we're holding steady, but slightly fewer transactions than what we did last year.
Well, that's the other, the bottom portion of the read, or my talking about the sponsorship, a segment sponsor for Brock, because of the money you invest in your marketing is for your customers. It's for your future customers, because you spend a lot of money on the marketing, and we want to help you get that return on your investment so you can help other people. And the bottom line is, as a servant leader, an intrinsic, if you want to have intrinsic growth in your heart, you help other people. Brock he's the man when it comes to this kind of stuff. And that's why he offers his advice so readily. You need to get a hold of him. Here's the other number. All right. I made you wait for a second, everybody. 517-303-3262. 303-3262. That's right to his pocket. And the coolest thing about Brock and his phone is he changes his voicemail every day. He's going to let you know when he'll return calls. He's doing this in the office. He'll be returning calls at this time during the day. Guy's on it, on top of it. Take it from an old telecom guy. That's one of the first things I noticed about this cat. It was like, wow, this is pretty solid. Well, it's the way you serve, and it's using the tools that are out there. That's very, very important. And that's why we're doing this best practices thing, because like you said I'm going to go back through this thing again. And I want to just say, everybody, kwsellingteam.com, 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 or the bottom of the homepage for tommattshow.com, and just click on Brock's mug right there, and away you go. Again, the number again, 517-303-3262. But the list, finding the right agent, and then the consultation in your office, it's all about the tools. You guys have so much technology now. You got all these aerial photos that you can do. You can do all this stuff. You can get all these ready. Everybody's so fired up. Hey, let's open up the brand new box of whatever trinket that we have here. But really, if you do it in the right steps, you can get more in that box. When you open that box, you're going to get more. You're not going to be disappointed and say, oh, that's all I'm getting. Now you're ready. It's the whole thing about prepping, getting a good coach and having a good general manager running the show for you. And that's the way you want to look at this. All right. So now we're at number 4, looking at houses, baby.
The fun part.
But it's like painting. I love to paint. It's all the prep work. It's all the prep work that's so hard and the heavy lifting. It's like pouring concrete. It's all the heavy lifting. Pouring the concrete's fun. It's kind of like cool. And, painting's fun. Yeah. That real estate's the same thing.
And that's the fun part for us too, right? Taking our clients out to see houses. That's the fun part. We understand it's easier and it's easier just to do that first. But the reality is that's really setting up our consumers for not having a 5-star experience if we do that first. So, that's why we consult, we get pre-approved before we go see houses. And that really opens it up then to the 5th step, Tom, which is the writing of offers. And, the agents on our team, and this may not sound like a great percentage, although I think it's fantastic. Our agents win about 50% of the time. So when we write an offer for one of our buyers, there's a 50% chance or better opportunity that our client will win that property. And some people might say, well, boy, I'm surprised it's not higher. Well, the last 3 years, we've been in an environment where there is in some cases as many as 10 or 11 offers competing against us. Now we're at a point where you're pretty much competing against 1 or 2 other offers. And that might be something that our listeners are also struggling with, because if they're watching the news, they might be hearing that things are bad. And the reality is that's not entirely true. Interest rates have gone up and inflation is up. But the reality is there's still 2 or 3 buyers competing for every property. That's the truth of it. If a house is not overpriced, then there's 2 or 3 people fighting for it.
That's still not a guarantee. I mean,
Not a
if
guarantee.
if you're competing against one other person, one other family, one other entity, then you have to have your tools ready. You have to have everything dialed in and ready to go. 50% seems like a pretty good number when you're writing an offer. It seemed to me
It is a good number. It's a very good number, Tom.
what would it be industry wide, just on a ballpark? If you don't have that, I know you probably don't have that stat right in front of you, but what would be the ballpark on the industry? Would it be 25% or?
Well, one time this year it was 10% because you were competing against at least 10 other offers. But I would say in most cases you're talking about 20 to 30% win rate. And the reason that our agents are able to write such successful offers is we know all the tips and tricks to use for the market that we're in. And then the agents on my team have very good reputations, and they also trade on my reputation. And so when we write an offer, the listing agent knows that they're dealing with somebody who's very professional and reputable, and the other agent wants to work with somebody like that too. Agents are all human beings, and all the great agents in the state of Michigan, they typically know when they're dealing with somebody who's not a top agent or who's not professional. And we're all human. We want to work with people who are easy to work with, that are highly ethical, and that's likely to yield to a successful transaction. So, if you're dealing with an agent who doesn't have a great reputation, then there's probably a better chance that you're not going to win, because that other agent doesn't have the trust and respect of their cohorts. So,
Well, you've got to have the training, and that leads me into, and we're going to come up on break here in a second here. So let me reset this. But in our 5th segment, everybody, I want to talk about the training and the projections for 2023, because that's another thing that we don't talk about a lot. Some people would say you're tooting your own horn. Well, hey, you know what? When you invest in training and you put the time and energy into having degrees and certifications, those things, they add up. They're not just there to make you look pretty in your office, right, Brock? I mean, so I'd like to talk about that, trainings, and what are the projections for 2023. Today's segment and today's episode, everybody, with Brock Fletcher, Reality of Real Estate, best practices. Let me do a quick reset, then we're going to go to break. We've covered 5 areas, 5 steps. You want to get the agent. You want to have the consultation in Brock's office. You want to get his preferred lender dialed in. You want to get pre-approved. You want to fill in any of the gaps. You want to make sure everything's in alignment. And then number 4, you go looking at houses. And number 5, you write the offer. We come back, we'll talk more about what's happening in 2023, what you can be looking for. And we want to look at the trainings that these professionals go through. Tom Mann Show, Brock Fletcher.
Awesome.
Beautiful. Let me get you right under the wire here. I got to get this in 12 minutes.
All right.
Here we go. If you're a nonprofit, school, church, or youth group, we need to spice up something for a live event with some talent. Please go to our website, tommattshow.com. Contact box is there. Share with us your situation, because we are accepting applications for speaking engagements that I would facilitate, a group speaking engagement with myself and a person like a Brock Fletcher, Craig Stiles. I've got several, but those 2 big hitters have agreed to come in. If we can make this all work together, we will do this and come in and spice up your gig. Now, this is a pro bono offer. That's why I need an application. If you want to pay us to come in and do these gigs, that's fine, but that's not the purpose. The purpose is to share mid-Michigan, Midwest, and show the greatness that our area has and can provide to you. We want to help people get better. We are all servant leaders, and we want to be there to assist you. All right. So again, TomMattShow.com, go to the contact box, tell us what your needs are, and we will do the best we can to help you out. And perhaps you may get invited to the mastermind lunch that we're going to start doing at Carrie McGee's place. Carrie McGee's place, another small business that's been on the show that we're helping promote, that everybody's networking with. It's all good. All right. Brock Fletcher's with us. We've gone through the 5 segments. You want to go through the rehash of the 5 steps that you gave to us? Those have been really good. And then we'll crush the rest of this episode here, Brock, with 2023 and a little bit of training on that you guys are going through. And so please go ahead and tell everybody what steps were.
Yeah, absolutely. So, and this is really from a buyer perspective, the top 5 steps to ensure success. So first and foremost, find your great real estate agent. Number 2, have an in-person consultation with that agent, preferably at their office. Number 3, getting pre-approved with a great local lender for the area that you're shopping, recommended by your awesome real estate agent. Number 4, the fun part, going out see the houses. Number 5, also a fun part, especially if you win, writing offer on that dream home. And if you follow those 5 steps correctly, you're gonna get 100% success. I promise you.
There you go, right from the man's mouth. Brock Fletcher, Reality of Real Estate, best practices. All right. So what kind of trainings have you guys gone through before we go into the trending of 2023 and looking into the crystal ball? Tell everybody about, because I know you are an extensive traveler when it comes to your trainings. You guys go all over the place for these top-notch training sessions. These things they're not inexpensive. You have to invest in yourself to get better. And I'd love for you to share with the listeners some of the things that you plan on doing to help you've got this thing going with MSU. That's going to be cool. We can talk about that a little bit, but go ahead and talk about the training and how you're helping young people and new agents that are coming in. Go for it, please.
Sure. So just a couple. So I have a business coach. I've had a business coach for the last 11 years. And that's a once a week coaching session with Jim. And Jim lives in Arizona now, but he was in California. But Jim coaches some of the top real estate teams across the United States. He's a mastery level coach with Keller Williams, and that's an every week, half hour per week coaching session, 50 weeks a year. Secondly, Keller Williams, which is a terrific training company, they have educational classes and opportunities all the time, and I'm typically in a different class each quarter of the year. There's another training that they offer, which is called Bold, which is something that comes into our region about once or twice a year. And I typically will get as many of my agents in on that as possible, but that's a 7-week conditioning course to not only address the success in your business, but address your mindset. It's a great program. And then in terms of our team, I coach our team every day from basically 8 to noon, Monday through Friday. And we're covering not only the nuts and bolts of real estate, like how to write great offers, how to do consultations with buyers and sellers, but also practicing our scripts and role play for making phone calls and keeping our clients informed with high level real estate information that helps cement us as the economist of choice for our clients. And so I travel 2 or 3 times a year for education. I encourage my teammates to do the same. And it's just I live and breathe the advancement of myself, not only as a business professional but as a human being. And so I'm constantly reading a book. I just finished Tipping Point by Malcolm Gladwell today. And I just started a new book called Life in Systems. So I read about one book every 2.5 weeks, listening to it via the Audible app. So it's safe to say I'm obsessed. I'm obsessive about education.
Well, and Brock Fletcher's the voice you're hearing here, everybody. Reality Real Estate, talking about best practices for 2023 and forward. But you're a consummate growth oriented person, and that's the way to live a quality life, everybody. If you're going to have quality of life, live to 100 with quality of life, as I've said on the show for now 12 years, you've got to have lifelong education. I mean, it's vitally important, because that'll put you, it keeps the noodle sharp. It gives you something to do. And it's very, very important for you to embrace these types of things. Never stop learning every day. Talk about some of the young people that you've been mentoring and helping, because that's part of the 2023 direction that you're going with your team, Brock. But you're doing a lot of mentoring and helping of younger people, and at least introducing them into the concepts of business, because real estate's obviously it's a very lucrative business if done correctly. But please talk about that, because you're a huge advocate for mentorship, giving back, helping with the college students. Please go ahead and talk about that a little bit, if you would.
Yeah, absolutely. Right now we have 3 brand new agents who have joined our team that are just completing their training, and they're doing very well. One came from a second career path. He's still young. He's younger than me, but he's about 30, maybe 32. But I've got 2 people that just joined our team. One is 19 and the other is 23. And I love taking people who are 18, 19, 20 years old, who want to be successful but don't really know how to do it, and kind of molding them into a great customer service person who can do very well financially. And college isn't for everybody, and you can go to college and have a successful real estate career, but you don't have to. And I love taking hardworking people that just haven't figured it out yet and helping them be wildly successful. The other thing that developed last year, and it was just purely by chance, but we had an opportunity to have 6 members of the Michigan State football team intern with us last summer. And number one, it was super enjoyable for me personally, because I love Michigan State University. Number 2, it was awesome for our other agents on our team to be able to shadow and mentor these young people and help them get a sense of business. And then number 3, it was great for the players, and the friendships that I've built with these young men has lasted through the season. And getting together with lunch, even now that some of them have graduated, and catching up before they leave town and things of that nature. It feels great to be impactful in a meaningful way, especially and it's got to be mutually beneficial, right? It can't be just, it can't be a one-way street. It's got to be right for both people. And I think young people are the key to all of our future, here in the United States, and helping young people succeed and develop their minds and their work ethic, so that we can have something better in the future, is really impactful. I mean, I don't think I'm old at 45, and yet I recognize, these 20, 18, 19, 20, 25, 30-year-olds, they've got to carry the torch moving forward, and they've got to be ready for it. So, by the way, I love what I'm seeing from some of these young people. We've got great people, right? They kind of get a negative rap just because they've grown up in a technology. They're not your World War II people who went to war at 16, and those are very real stories. And our grandparents and great grandparents were wonderful people. They were the greatest generation, and yet our young people are also great, right? And they're going to do great things for our country and for the world. if we continue to mentor and foster them to do so.
Well, it's really up to us. That's very well put. Thank you for saying all that, Brock, and thank you for mentoring all of these young people. But the point being is we have an obligation as the growing older population, and I feel this very much so. And so I'm happy to hear you say those kind words to helping young people get better. They have so many skills that they can help us with. We have a lot of skills that we need to help them with. There needs to be much more collaboration. Brock, I need a takeaway. We're going to close here in about 30 seconds. What would you like to close this episode with?
I think just an overall feeling of gratefulness and responsibility to do my part to help improve where we are as a society and in a country. And so if you're listening to this, you know, what can you do, right? What can you do to be impactful, to make a difference, and then go do it.
He is Brock Fletcher. Always remember, before you can share love with others, you must love yourself first. Thanks again to Brock, Sandy, Craig, Brock, Samantha, Mitch Anderson. Have a great week, everybody. Go out and ignite your life. Remember, Comment Show is a production of Boomers Rock Media. We want to bring your story to life. Thank you so much for listening. We appreciate all of you. Good day now. 1 o'clock on the dot.
Awesome. You're the man.
Didn't do too much 2023, but I think that leading into the young people thing is more important. And so that is what you're going to do in 2023 anyway. So
yeah. Yeah. And we'll have time when we catch up in the next one. We can dive into
more of a tech 2023 projection. You'll know more. When things start shaking out. And you guys had a great year. I mean, it's been very, very crazy for sure, but you're weathering the storm is all solid businesses do. So congratulations on your success, my friend.
Well, you're a big part of it, Tom. We appreciate you guys.
Thank you very much for saying that. I appreciate that. Hey, go to your meeting and I'll be in touch. Thank you. And have a great New Year's. Okay, bud.
Sounds good. Thanks.
All right.
Thank you so much, Tom.
See ya. Bye, Brock.
See ya.